All right, guys. So I talked about wanting to share some of my personal abuse on my channel and just talk about the stuff that I've been through as a person. And specifically, this time it's kind of the abuse that I got from my mom for 20 something years, just in some ways summarized as an idea that's kind of palpable to other people and actually usable inside of your life to identify abusers. People like, the herds of reality, the people that just gaslight in extremely advanced ways to make you believe that it's your problem, right? Now, the easiest definition that I found outside of just gaslighting, which is kind of a very airy term, it is very like someone has to be mad and be mad because of someone else. The easiest term that I've thought of is implied realities. Now, an implied reality is going to be a thing that a person will use if they are extremely used to gaslighting you. Like, if they're just in a state of mind in which they believe that they can gaslight you normally and you then react a certain way, and then they say, well, this is how you always react. Oh no, you react this way, so you're wrong. And the easiest way to describe this is an implied reality. So easy example for me is, I've had major investment accounts for many, many years. I had arguments with my mom when I was like 21, 22, something like that, where I was like, hey mom, I have like, $80,000, $90,000 in this one account. And then I have like $100,000 worth of cards over here. Didn't say all of it, but was like, hey mom, I'm not going to be working anymore and I just want to pay some rent and I really need to like save for a house. I was straight up like, hey, like I need to, save up to buy property because like this is the level of money I have now. And my mom was like, oh no, like you have to give me like more rent, and like was fighting me on it. And I was like, look, mom, here's my investment account, open the account, showed her the phone, no nonsense. Like looking at like $90,000 in a single account. And I was like, look, like I need to save money. I need to like do me, And then my mom would go, no, you're not successful. You don't have enough money. You'll fail. Like things like that, to directly say that I was wrong in the idea of, like just kind of interpersonal struggles. But that's an idea of an implied reality that happened to me over, many years, where I would just, go, mom, like I'm not working, I'm doing this, I'm focusing on this project. Or like, I took a whole year and moved to North Carolina to spend money and exercise. It was like a whole thing that happened to my family whatever. But for me in my life, in my personal abuse, my implied realities got to the point of my mom just blatantly denying reality. Like, I feel like a lot of people end up in situations that are similar. Like, my situation was like fucked up. Like, I'm like blatantly successful, blatantly responsible in everything I've ever done. Like, everything. Like, it's actually stupid. And like, I got to points with my family where I would be like, mom, I'm financially successful and fine. And she would say, no, you're not. And I would say, okay, here's one account with $80,000 in it. Like, I can like literally buy your house. Like, I literally was just looking at her like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, that's the implied realities that I got in my house. But like in my situation, I had a mom that did not have a firm basis of reality, and I had to adult a lot more than I should have in any context. So I feel like my personal situation, I should probably layer on with more details. But the easier thing is to just watch out for, this kind of new term of implied realities. And really what it is the idea of like people trying to bullshit you and then try to like force you to think that something else is true in reality so that they can pervert that truth and then abuse that as a way to get you to do something for them. Normally, that's what an implied reality is. Like, I've messed with people on implied realities. Like, the funniest thing to do is mess with your friends. The funniest situation of an implied reality was like, I was hanging out with one of my friends. His cousin came over, a cute girl, whatever. And there was actually a Fridays that had burned down, like right next to where we were. And me and my bud were like walking with her and shit, just hanging out, like enjoying the town. And literally, like, we walked past the building that burned down. And she goes, whoa, like, Friendly's burned down? And me and my bud look at each other and we're like, no, it didn't. Just straight up, like, and she looked at us like just straight up. And we were like, all right, like, that's the fun of it. But the honest answer is that, if you find someone like an Emma Heard in your life, or like my mom, that is using implied realities against you, basically saying, you always do this, so why are you doing that? Like the immediate 1-2, you've acted in some way, and so you are wrong. I mean, for like kids, it makes sense. Like 1 or 2 or 3-year-olds, sure. But like once you get to like an adult spectrum of like legitimate conversations, when you find people that do the 1-2, like, there's certain people like you need to just avoid in your life. And I know, like, at this time in history, this is definitely in 2022 the time where I've been saying it for a while, just, in my own groups of philosophical circles and science stuff and this, that, and the other. But everyone's depressed, everyone's sad, everyone's alone, everyone gets the anxiety package for free because more or less you walk around and you die from corona, or you catch corona inadvertently and kill your friends. And basically, like, it's like suspicion, but like legit for everyone for 2 years straight. And you have to stay inside and basically not see anyone you normally would. Like, so it's just a weird time to talk about these basic schemes and, my own crap that I've had to go through and why I'm so financially stable and, like, basically fine with all the Republicans dying. Because, okay, I'm not going to be that guy about this and weave too many things into this, but, like, to be fair about Republicans, they honestly thought that a sickness that spreads from coughing won't be stopped from putting a mask on. So I'm good with it. Like, that, not in a fucked up way. That's not implied reality. So, like, let's seal this video up at a solid 8 minutes of me talking about some of my abuse. And yes, as a teaser, I do have extremist Republican family that were caught up in a whole bunch of stuff. And one of them had a secret drug dealer house in Florida that he could be lying about because he's an extremist Republican, a part of like a, militia group or whatever. That I'd already, so whatever, not my problem. Sorry, Florida. The MGK song's good. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. It's been your boy Kittens, bringing down fentanyl rings left and right. So I hope you, God damn. This video's over.